Da 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 da. Hi, this is Cognition, season 2, episode 3, and I'm calling this episode Denim Day, which was actually yesterday, but I thought I would let people know that I'm a victim in a way of Denim Day. Denim Day was started, I think, in France, in Europe. It's about a rape case where a woman was told by the courts that basically because she had on tight jeans, she couldn't have been. It had to be consensual. I was wearing jeans the night that I was sexually assaulted by a guy named Jeremy Gilbreth, and I'd had cancer, so I was losing weight, so the jeans kind of were like very loose and baggy on me, and there was enough space for him basically while I was asleep for him to take his hand and shove it down my pants. I have been told I should not talk about this apparently. I have to keep my mouth quiet, and I am tired of it. I really am. I am tired of the Puritan influence. The Puritans no longer exist, okay? They were effectively lost to time, all right? We no longer live in Puritan America. In fact, the Puritans stopped being a part of American culture before the American Revolution, I believe. So can we please stop acting like we're all walking around in black and white robes and women have to wear chastity belts and we can't live in the year 2021 now, and women can't have the, quote, respect of consent to our own bodies. Okay? I am so tired of the hypocrisy of the fact that if we women talk about this, we are labeled crazy. I am so tired of the fact that I was sick with an autoimmune disease and I was labeled insane when I wasn't. That my friends on the East Coast who should have known better, including a social worker by the name of Lisa Joy, that I would never attack anyone. I would never do anything wrong. I mean, I was an honor student in college and I had a theater degree. And I never stalked anybody. And in fact, the irony of this is I'm beginning to look back on my life to think that she had me live with her because of a guy named Steve Misser, who everybody thought apparently that I was stalking, when the reality is he tried to take my virginity and I wouldn't give it to him. Because we women are not supposed to talk about that. We're not supposed to talk about sexual activity. We're supposed to keep our mouths shut. So in the end, we end up in relationships with men we're not attracted to. We end up in relationships with men who abuse us. We ended up not being satisfied in the bedroom, not being satisfied in our lives, and basically being miserable. And then we end up being made to grow older before our time. Like, a woman's life is pretty much over when she can't have kids anymore. Isn't it? I mean, we want to think in America we're better than that, but we're not. We haven't improved. And our life is all about the next generation. Even our marketing in Hollywood is about the next generation. It's not about now. It's about tomorrow. And it's about way in the future tomorrow. It's not even about now at all. Either that or it's in the past. We don't seem to exist now. Like, I was fired from sets, but I didn't do anything wrong. People think maybe that I was quit, but I didn't. I was forced to quit. I was tricked on a set so bad. And lately there's been articles circling around about the television show Entourage and about how it is being like blanked out by HBO because of the woke culture. I've got news for you guys. It's sexist. Okay? When it was taping, you did not want women looking like me on your set because I wasn't sexy enough for you. And I was actually abused by these sexy women who worked that show. And some of those women I don't think were very beautiful, but they were the kind of women who used what they had to get what they wanted, and that was the kind of casting that you wanted on that set. I mean, seriously, the one day I worked on the set of Entourage, all I felt was toxic hatred for some reason. And that was before I got cancer. That was before Jeremy Gilbreth molested me. There was hatred there for some reason. And I think it might have been because I was on HBO's website for Carnival. And it irked people because I wasn't sexy, I wasn't hot, I wasn't gorgeous. It turns out, though, that the president of the fan club for Carnival was a resident of my home state of Maryland. And the guy that created the show, I was friends with his son. I'd become friends with his son. I'd become friends with people on the set. So I think that was part of it. They liked me for some reason, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time. They snapped a still photograph, they liked that photograph, and they stuck it on their website. So, which is really petty. I mean, seriously, it is incredibly petty. I told myself I was going to stop saying that word. It's like my annoying little, everyone has little annoying little things that they do. Seriously, it's become my annoying thing. I'm going to try to stop saying that word. But because I don't have a script for this one, I'm just going off the cuff because I just wanted to talk about Denim Day. I wanted to talk about this concept of the fact that we women do not invite anyone to our bodies we don't want. And you can't use clothing as an excuse, as a defense. You know, I mean, it's like, okay, one day it's jeans, the next day it's the skirt's too short. But the reality is a woman could be wearing a dress down to the ground, and somehow you men would still say it's our fault. And yet, statistically, 98% of people who come out and say that they were sexually assaulted were really sexually assaulted. Stop it. Stop trying to insinuate that someone would want to embarrass themselves and humiliate themselves by saying that someone would actually want to do something like shove their hand down. I wouldn't talk about the fact that my first boyfriend in college did that to me. That he, when I was sleeping with him, took his hand, put it down my pants, and I rejected him. When I did, he broke up with me. The real reason that Steve Misser and I broke up in college was because I wouldn't sleep with him. And yet, all of a sudden, everyone thinks I was stalking him because we were into the same things. I was a photographer, he was a photographer. I have been hanging out at the radio station since my freshman year because I lived over the radio station my first year of college, and Steve Misser transferred in when when I was a sophomore. Like, he wasn't even there my first year of college. So, and then he contacted me on Facebook and said there are a lot of people out in California from Western Maryland College, Laura. And I'm like, really? And it was kind of creepy. Like, I wish I'd saved that email on MySpace. But then it made me realize, looking back, I'm thinking, what is he doing? What is he saying? What is he and his frat boy friends talking to people about? And does his frat boy friends know my side of it? Because some of the guys at my college knew I was a nice girl. I wasn't the kind of girl you messed with. I wasn't the kind of girl you screwed around with. I wasn't the kind of girl that you tried to hurt. Anyways, and I have made some mistakes with men. I have. I made the mistake of getting involved with an 18-year-old when I first moved to California who lied to me about where he was from, didn't tell me he was a student at USC, didn't tell me he was from Northern California, told me he was from Mexico, told me he was 19 going on 20 when he was actually 18, though apparently everyone thinks he was underage when he wasn't. I don't have an STD. That's a rumor that was started by the girls at Deadwood because I'm actually allergic to latex. And I've never had sex without a condom. And I'm not ashamed to say all of this. You know, I don't like having anything in my closet that's a skeleton. I don't. If somebody wants to know something about me, I'm willing to ask the question. I kind of like my privacy, though. I really do. So the fact that I've had to come out and say all this crap about my love life because I was terminated from the industry on slander and lies when I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, wait, as far as my parents are concerned, I have bad behavior because I'm telling people that I was sexually assaulted. I have to be careful about what I say online. I need to shut up about it. No, I'm not going to. Because I had a crime committed against me. I was violated. The cops aren't going to do anything about it. Oh, well, guess what? Since it's too late, the statute of limitation is run. I can't get him arrested. I can't do anything to him. Yes, I can. I could keep telling people what he did. I mean, I actually have a letter from a friend of his where his friend practically admitted the fact that he admits that he did it to me. So I'm sorry, people out there who don't want to hear about it. I'm sorry, people out there who want me to keep quiet. I'm sorry you don't be telling actors and producers what this guy did. I don't want him doing this to somebody else. I don't want him I don't want some girl to ask him for a ride. And then he takes her to a house in the hills and violates her. And he may be married, but so is Weinstein. And Carrasco at Santa Monica College, how dare you insinuate it's ever the woman's fault. It is not. I did not hang out with him at the club. I did not do drugs with him. I didn't even know he was doing drugs that night. In fact, the only reason I know he did cocaine that night apparently because according to his friend who wrote me an email, he says that's why he did it. Because he was high on cocaine. I never saw him do cocaine that night. I knew he had a drug problem. Didn't know he went off and did cocaine that night though until I got that email. So, don't. To my friends back on the East Coast, you should have stood by me. You should not have assumed anything. Here's the thing, I wasn't the mean girl in school, I was the nice girl in school, but apparently some of my friends were the mean girls. I mean, when I was in... The guy who sexually assaulted me, his wife, Alana Philo, went to a sorority that's at my college. Yeah, she went to my college 10 years after I did. We didn't know each other. It's just a weird coincidence. It's like something out of a movie. I came to California. I might meet this guy on the set. He's from Texas, and he ends up marrying a girl who went to my college. The funny thing about that sorority is that there was a girl at my college named R.J. Meesday who was also an actress with me. But here's the thing about her. They called her the slut of the theater. They called me the virgin of the theater. Yeah. Sorority girls on my campus were basically the girls that got drunk every weekend. For the most part. I was the goddamn independent. GDIs is what we called us. We did drink, but we weren't the type of people. I had a full scholarship. I had to keep a GPA of a 3.4. So I was not that kind of person who got drunk irresponsibly. And anyways, RJ actually hit on the guy that I was dating in front of me when I was on a date. She walked into the bar where we were at, and, you remember the David Lynch television show? There was a classic scene from it. I'm getting old, I guess. It's just, or my illness is affecting me. I don't remember the name of the show now. But anyways, it was a very well-known show. They did a remake of it recently, and there's a cherry stem scene in it where the lead actress takes a cherry stem and ties it with her teeth. Well, RJ walks into the bar where I'm with the guy I'm dating, who's an actor. And she does the cherry stems trick in front of him. And his mouth drops open. Well, they didn't know that I was practicing doing that just for the fun. I picked up a cherry stem, tied it with my teeth, held it up for my boyfriend, and then walked out. He was like, both times. I'm like, yeah, darling. I just did the same thing she did. Goodbye. Anyways, he supposedly cheated on me with another girl. My roommate told me that. But now I look back on it, I don't know what the truth is anymore. Like, I don't know if he actually cheated on me or if R.J. Meesday wanted him. And they played a game. And what they did was, though, they took away my best friend because we broke up, and then he came back to see me a few weeks later. And he said, I feel like I lost my best friend. I'm like, look at him and say, you did. We were best friends. Why did you do what you did? I probably would have married that guy. But I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know. I left McDaniel College and went to D.C. and started working at a theater in D.C. and wanted to work with theaters and wanted to work with actors. And he was an actor, and he wanted me before I wanted him. Like, he sat next to me in class, and every class we were together with, he was sitting next to me. And finally, one of his friends had to knock me over the head and say, Laura, are you single? Are you dating anybody? And I said, okay, who do you know who likes me? And I figured out, oh, your friend Chris? Who was the lead in every play. He was the lead in every play. He was the lead in every show on the campus at the time. And I was doing crew stuff, and I had little small roles here and there. And I was like, really? He likes me. I'm like, okay. But then I thought about it and realized, wait, he's been sitting next to me in every single class. He's been partnering with me in every single project. I'm like, okay, I guess he does like me. And it was just one of those things where it was just, we were friends and we clicked and we talked about the same stuff together. And he was incredibly observant. I remember him saying, he's like, I used to keep receipts. I still do this. I still have this bad habit. I keep receipts. I keep like the receipts, and then I have a system. Okay, I keep the receipts until I get the bank stuff, and then I check everything off. Well, he said, I don't understand why you do that. I'm like, you noticed I do that? He said, yeah, you keep your freaking receipts. Why do you do that? He's like annoyed him, I guess, but he didn't understand why I did it, but I digress. But anyways, it's not okay. It's not okay for someone to label a woman as if she is like the scarlet letter anymore. It really isn't. I mean, I know that there are women, I know that there are women who, and I don't understand the whole we want sex work to be legal thing. But I understand that there are women who are desperate and who don't comprehend the fact that there's something better that they could be doing with their lives than that. And they're doing it anyways. But it perplexes me too, because I've had men troll me who are for women being sex workers. And those same women, those same men will treat a woman who's been raped as though it's her fault. And maybe in their mindset is the fact that women are a commodity instead of being human beings. It's like we're chattel. Like someone recently said, I'm an animal. And I'm like, no, I'm not. If I am an animal, it's because I'm a human being. We're all animals, technically. I think my father said that to me. He said, you're an animal. I'm thinking, really? I think as far as I'm concerned, he wants me to live like an animal. He wants to force me into a position where I have a job I don't like. I'm with a man I don't even care about. And I'm forced to go to a church that I don't believe in. To me, that's living like an animal. And he wants me to live a lie. I'm an actor. I'm not living like an animal. I want to be on sets working as an actor. I like changing who I am on a regular basis. I like using my imagination. I'm a creative, talented person. And I'm also a very educated one. I speak in full sentences. And as far as I'm concerned, my father wants me to be with one of his Neanderthal NRA supporting morons who hang out with him and shoot at things and kill animals. And to me, that's living like an animal. My parents want me in a nice house, then let me be with someone I actually would love to be with. I mean, there are men out there probably who are what I'm looking for when it comes to men, and my father isn't going to help me by pushing me to be an animal. I'm not an animal. I'm a minimalist. I don't want a house with a pool in the backyard. I don't want a guy who works in oil or works as a chemical person. I don't like the fact that we're destroying the planet. I never have. And to me, this is all about Denim Day. It is. Because the reality is, we need to stop. Stop judging people on the clothes that they wear, the money in the bank. Stop the class system. Start looking at people and realizing what a good person really is and what a bad person is. When someone tells me that some actress has values, and yet this person represents having wealth and having extravagance, and everyone wants, and she's actually wanting to have other people follow her example. To me, that's not values. It isn't. You know, it's the person who says that they're for saving the planet, but then drives a gas guzzler of a car. It doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, I guess I want people to actually start thinking more and connecting their head and their heart together and recognize the fact that if you don't feel that something's right, it isn't right. And if you're a man, start recognizing the fact it's okay to be kind to people. It's okay to stop treating women like they're objects and start getting to know them. It's okay to get in touch with your own feelings. And it's not okay to blame a woman for your actions of bad behavior. I mean, seriously, if Jordan Marks is blaming me for the fact that he came after me, he asked me out, he lied about me, he put a condom on and tried to sleep with me, what the hell? Then I'm going to speak up and say, excuse me? I did nothing to you. I didn't force a condom on you. I didn't climb on top of you. You climbed on top of me. I didn't get you drunk. I didn't give you drugs. And the next day when you asked me if I was gay, I told you the truth. I'm not. And you got mad at me because the reality is I kind of wasn't that into you. Sorry it wasn't all whistles and bells and fireworks. Because the reality is I wanted a man in my life, not a 20-year-old boy. I just met with you for pizza as a friend, and I didn't care. Actually, I did, because I felt like taken advantage of a little bit. And your action afterwards was just so weird to me and so traumatizing to me. I mean, I honestly think that people try to make me look gay because apparently you went to private schools in Northern California. So Julia Stiles wants me gone because she's done movies with you. Who else? I think Winona Ryder for some reason wants me gone. There's an actor from Numbers who made some comment about me still being here. Yeah, I'm still here because I was the ABA representative at Catholic University. I have a master's in performing arts management. I have a theater degree. Yes, I went to Catholic law school. Yes, I went to American University, but I'm not trained to practice law. The only area of law the only industry I'm familiar with and driven to be a part of is theater and acting and film and television. So you picked this girl to fucking toss aside who was trained to do exactly what you were doing. In fact, Jordan knew I was a lawyer. He knew I went to law school. So he knew how old I was. I mean, I didn't know this. He was a freshman at USC, I guess, at the time. If you're smart enough to get into USC, don't you think, unless he's one of those varsity people, because he went to a private school in Northern California, did his parents pay his way into USC? Because if you're a freshman at USC, and you're pursuing a woman who says she went to law school and graduated from law school, do you honestly think she's 20 years old? Seriously. Do you honestly think that they're the same age? And all this stuff about age appropriate, that is such crap, because I am so tired of people trying to set me up with a guy who's my father's age. I don't want to take care of an old man. I'm having a hard enough time taking care of myself. And I don't want to take care of a guy who's already got a bunch of kids to take care of unless he's willing to understand the fact that I may not be good stepmom material if you leave me alone with the kids and expect me to be that person and you don't take care of me, too. Like, most of you men don't take care of us women. You don't. Not really. And that's the thing. Doesn't make me angry at my parents, angry at this woman, Amelia Adams, I know on the East Coast, is a real estate agent, because I wrote her an email telling her I didn't want my parents in my life. And then she turned around and said I threatened my parents. Yeah, I did, because I told you in the first email that I did not want my parents in my life, and then you tell me they're wonderful people. I'm like, no, they're not. If they come anywhere near me, I'm going to feel threatened. I mean, I was on the phone yesterday with my father, and he said it sounded like I was drunk. I talk really fast, but I speak in full sentences here. When if I play this back to you, it's not going to sound like I'm drunk. Granted, I talk fast. You have to be quick, I guess, to hear me, maybe. But I'm so tired. I am so tired of a decade of being labeled as someone with bad behavior when I'm just an adult. And I had relationships with people that did not work out. And those relationships are not what you think. Because apparently I was at Santa Monica College for years, didn't date anybody there. And in fact, everything at Santa Monica College was fine until SAG-AFTRA threw me into an institution in 2012 not believing I'm an attorney. And then all of a sudden, Santa Monica College didn't believe I went to law school either. And I was trying to train to be a filmmaker and a producer. I have a business license, but it's not to start my own freaking law firm. I'm an intelligent woman. I know what it takes to have a law firm, and I don't have I do not have the resources. I don't have the resources to pay my rent at this point because of everything. Let alone, I don't have a car. I had to sell my car. And people think I'm going to be able to leave California. I need to make money so that I can afford to move first. Like, I would need like $20,000 or $30,000 in the bank to be able to afford to move. To make sure that I have the rent to pay. To make sure that and I don't want to be stuck in a job I'm going to hate for the rest of my life. So if the job doesn't involve me being an actor working in film and television, I'm going to hate it. Because that's what I was trained to do. So I keep making these videos. Because it's like me being on a set. And I need to have a voice and express myself. And I really don't care if anybody hears me. I still need to talk. I'm so tired. I'm getting my vaccination this week. I am. And I am seriously thinking about the fact that if it kills me, so be it. Because I have allergies. There's a very strong possibility I will not survive the shot. Not to scare anyone. But it actually asks the question. It's like, do you have these allergies? And I'm thinking, yep. So the possibility of me going into anaphylactic shock after getting this, after getting the shot is very strong. Yeah. So, I could be putting my life in danger, but I figured, you know what? I need to do it. I have to get it done. I have to move past COVID and get back to living. And if it kills me in the process, then I guess that's what's supposed to happen. But I know now that I've spent the last 10 years being tortured for stupid stuff, being bullied for no reason, being accused of being crazy when I have never attacked or hurt anyone. And I'm sorry, but what I'm gifted at, I don't know how to make a product. I'm not an economist. I'm not a business person. There is no business if there's no actors. There's no business if there's no entertainment. I was starting a website about the arts, and it is ruined. Because apparently I need to know that I'm not, I don't know, qualified to write about the arts, Kelly Halowski? I have a master's in performing arts management. I wrote papers about the arts. I write theater reviews. I've written theater reviews. And sometimes I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. We're all human. I don't know everything about every theater production or play. But if I don't know something, I learn it and write about it. So, I'm really tired. My life is destroyed. I'm not going to go turn around and become a real estate agent. I don't like selling things. I don't like selling things at all. I'm agoraphobic. I don't like embarrassing situations, and I don't like crowds, and I'm back to being abused and terrified and scared, and everything that I'd worked for destroyed on lies. I didn't do anything on a set, and believe it or not, I did work on sets a lot. You can't have it both ways, people. You can't force me into a relationship with a guy because some guy finds me attractive and say, well, she wasn't on sets all the time because she's not attractive. I don't want a man in my life if I'm not an actor. So my genes are staying on. I'm not coming off for anybody. And I'm not going to be someone's stepmother unless they're my best friend. Unless they like the same things I like. Unless they understand where I'm coming from. I'm really sick of this because my soulmate is an actor. My soulmate is a creative person. My soulmate does not work for the oil companies or Boeing or works for chemistry or works for a pharmacy or has a real job. My soulmate would be an actor, and my soulmate is not someone who goes to church on Sunday and expects me to go to church with him too, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not. My parents keep saying that I'm living in the past. They are, because I stopped being a Christian when I stopped going to church, their church, when I was 18 years old. I think I went a few times in Arizona just to appease them. But I was Catholic. I converted to Catholic at Catholic University, and now I'm a Buddhist. I'm very proud of that fact. I'm not changing that back. I'm not going to believe in the Bible anymore. I believe in the Constitution. The Constitution is my Bible. I believe in the UN Bill of Rights. I believe that everyone should be allowed to be who they want to be. And I believe that I should be allowed to be who I want to be, and that includes being an actor. I mean, everyone thinks they've been so smart with this. What did you get by killing off an intelligent person? I could have created jobs for other people, but the only way I could do that is if I wrote scripts and wrote stories and wrote poetry. Truth. Artistic Hope is not a business. It is a business, but it's just me. I'm not going to be hiring anybody. I don't have the money to. It was just supposed to be a way for me to write about the arts and create my own business so I could work alone. But in a way, I was helping other people because I was advertising for the arts. Don't you get that? I have the right to be a solo practitioner, have my own money, and be solo. Nobody else. Freelancers, technically I was a freelancer, but technically because I have a business license, I'm not a freelancer. I'm my own business. That's why I set it up that way. But then you guys don't seem to get that at all because you're so stuck in this corporate mindset that everything has to be a corporation. And by taking away any possibility of people liking me, you destroyed my business. You destroyed everything I was working on. There's no way for me to pay my rent. Is that what you wanted? Really? Because you ended up hurting my parents even more. And my parents say they're helping me, but they're not, because unless I can be liked, my parents don't want me being liked. My parents don't want me being liked. They want people who in the acting profession to hate me, but then they want people that they like me when I'm never going to like them. I mean, I've had so many men contact me who are Christian Republicans. I am never going to like you. Why would you want to be with someone who's going to want to hurt you eventually because I'm going to hate you so much as I hate my parents? Why? I mean, I think about Denim Day, and that's what I think about. I think about men trying to be predatory with me and trying to make me be someone I'm not because you think you have the right to take me. You have the right to rape me. Do you understand how vile you are? My bios all say I'm a secularist. Do you think I want to talk to you if you go to church on Sunday? Or if you're going to make me go? I'm not going to be interested. I'm never going to be interested. My parents were better off when I was working on sets. My parents were better off when I had my own income. My parents were better off when I had hope. Because I was good at acting. I was good at pretending to be other people. And the reason that certain people called me schizophrenic is because they couldn't comprehend. I would walk on a set and become someone else. Because that was my job. And I was having fun doing it. So they thought I was schizophrenic when they didn't realize the fact I was acting. God, it's so crazy. And if anything, maybe it was because I was threatening because I was that good at it. Anyways. I don't know what my future entails. I just know that I was meant to be an actor. I trained to be an actor. I had ideas for scripts and stories I wanted to tell. I was trying to be like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and write my own scripts. Oh no, I wasn't. Oh yes, I was. I was taking classes in script writing when I wasn't on sets. I learned Final Draft years ago. I judged scripts for the Script Writing Network in 2003. People on the extras, I didn't tell them this stuff because it was my privacy right. And frankly, there were too many leeches in the industry. Too many narcissists. Arnie Starr being one of them. He knew I was training in Photoshop. He knew I was training to do other things. But because I'm a woman, the only thing people kept saying you should be in wardrobe or hair and makeup. Meanwhile, I was better at shooting a camera as a still photographer or editing, doing Photoshop. I'm not going to be a production assistant. I can't lift anything. I'm too sick. So I wanted to skip that step somehow. Sorry, I did. And frankly, I don't want to be on sets anymore if I can't be an actor. I want nothing to do with the industry at all if I can't be an actor. I'm not working for crew people. I'm not working on set of crew. You hire me to be an actor, forget it. And you hired me to be a SAG-AFTRA actor, forget it. I mean that. You want to humiliate me some more? You want to push me down? You want to put me in a position where I wasn't the one who was toxic. I had my head up for the first time and I was happy and I was confident. Despite what Jeremy Gilbreth did to me. I needed to love myself. So I had to hold my head up, and you just took that as me being a bitch. I never yelled or screamed at Carrie Finkley. She yelled and screamed at me. But you're not going to believe that probably. Because I'm the one with the law degree. Or I don't have a law degree. Make up your mind. You have a law degree, you don't have a law degree. You have a law degree, you're not practicing, therefore you must be crazy. You don't have a law degree because you're crazy. I will probably never be able to pay my rent on my own again. But I'm not prostituting myself to anybody. I either find a way to work and do the work that I can be proud of and that I can be respected in. Because you know that word respect? I am never going to feel respected ever again if I'm not allowed to be an actor. I'm never going to be respected again if I'm not respected as being capable of being an actor. I really don't care if my father says I'm living like an animal. I would rather live like the animal that I am than be the monster he wants me to become. Because from my perspective, living like my parents is living like a monster. It is living like someone who doesn't care about other people, doesn't give a crap about anybody else, only cares about a Bible and a God that, in my opinion, doesn't exist. Greedy, selfish, self-centered, and my life is supposed to revolve around them. And I've had it. I've had it.
Think.
Da 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 da.